Hello, everyone. Excuse me. This is Christine Harris, and you may notice a slight difference in things this morning. I actually turned my craft table around. It was sitting directly in the same spot, only pointed in the other direction. But I wanted something a little bit different. I was a little tired of looking at the same things all the time and stuff. So I'm not sure how long I'm going to leave it this way because when it was over there on that facing that side of the room, um, I had all my drawers set up where I just had to reach over and grab something out of the drawer, and or I could just turn around and grab something out of those drawers and stuff. But here I have the backdrop of my two large white cabinets, and on this side are all of my prima doll tags that I've received. And on this side are all of the other types of tags that I've received. And so I thought that kind of made a nice background and stuff. But anyway, I am here today to share a few more of the 100 things item challenge. Uh, that's the one that's put on by Dances with Pit Bulls. And I have been doing a lot of experimenting the last couple of days. Some of these I will use as a thing in the challenge. Some of them I won't because I probably won't make any more and I wasn't happy with the way they turned out or something. But a lot of these, it was just kind of a test to see how it would work, how it would look, if I would be happy with it. And most of them I it turned out I was very happy with. But well, one thing I wasn't happy with because it's too large and it's too heavy. You couldn't use it as a card or anything, but I made this um, tag almost, or just a little layout. What I had was I had two books partially used, uh, Time to Celebrate by Graphic 45. And uh, most of the paper in these books has been used except for the pages uh, that just have these tags on them. Plus, one time when I was at Tuesday morning, I found a package of just the tags. So I have an additional 12 or so sheets of just the tags. So my goal in the last couple of days was to see what I could do to use up some of these tags. And every time I made an item, I'd think of two more things that I could do and get all excited. And I still haven't tried them all, but I just thought I'd give a little share today and show you what I have come up with. Anyway, this one here, I put some lace around the edge, and that's one piece of lace, but it's got two colors of lace uh, gathered together on it. And I put just one of the tags in the middle, and then I put some um, resin flowers in the corner. And on the back, it's just the dark print. On the front, it was the pink polka dot print. So that was one thing that I made. I'm not going to count this in the challenge because, like I said, I wasn't really happy with it because what do you do with it? You know, I mean, what do you use it for? Other than maybe the cover of a album or a large scrapbook page maybe, or something like that. But anyway, that was one thing that I had experimented with. Another thing that I did was I made some pockets. Um, I used the paper, and of course it was the sheet of paper that had all the stamps on it, folded it up at the bottom and made a pocket out of it. And then I used one of the tags for the bottom half. Some of them I put down with just flat tape. And then I made a little, I did some cutting with one of my punches up here for a top. It looked plain up there. It looked like it needed something. So I did that and then put a little bit of bling on it. And on others, I raised this tag up a little bit and I put some trim around the tag. And some of them are made with the plaid and this page on the back. And then this one has got the polka dot trimmed edge again up at the top. And there was this one, and this one is made also with the red plaid. And this one again is made with the green plaid. And like I said, this one is taped down directly, and this one is raised up on dots with the trim around it. So I was really pleased with those, so I'm going to count those as an item, and I plan on making a bunch more. I still have so much of that paper left. I'll never use it all. So anyway, I plan on making some more of these. They will be great for albums that you can just, you know, stick it in there, it's ready to go, make a tag, put the tag inside, and you're off and running. So that's going to be number 8 of my 800 things. Then I made some cards with matching envelopes. I used the larger tags, just made a blank plain card, and you probably aren't going to be able to see it, but I used some stickles, and I painted her dress with the stickles so that it had a little bit of sparkle to it. And I did some paint or some ink around the edge of the card. And then the envelope I made that matches it. And I did 4 of these. So there's this one. And her dress is done with stickles, and the roses are done with stickles. And there's this one. And these next two I did with the polka dot paper and the flower on the back as matching envelopes. And the last one is this one. And I did the roses with the stickles. Like I said, they're all plain cards. They've all got the ink around the edges, and so those I was real happy with, and I will probably make more of those, and I will count this as number 9. Next, I made some to from tags, and I just used the stamps and a little piece of the trim off of the border page, and just made a quick little to from tag. And I looked through my stamps yesterday, and as many stamps as I have a binder full, I have a drawer full, I have a couple of boxes full, another set of drawers full. As many stamps as I have, you know, I did not have a to from stamp. So I'm going to have to get a to from stamp to finish this up. But I was pleased with the, you know, the way they came out. It's just a quick little tag that you can put on a package. So there's those. And we'll make this number 10. Now, I love putting things that I send to people in glassine bags. Well, I have 4 different sizes of glassine bags, so I just took the smallest size that I had, just so that I could try it, see what they look like, see if I like them. And what I had were these little bundles of napkins, and it's just a little light blue with a white flower print on them. You barely can see it, but it matched the cards that papers that I was working with. I liked it with it. And so I thought, I only had 2 of them, and I thought, well, I can get a few things done with it anyway. But when I started to take them apart, there are probably, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 6 layers of these napkins, all in the blue, all with the print in each one of these piles. So I have 12 of these napkins that will make quite a few um, little glassine bags for me. So I'm going to be doing a lot more of those, but these are what the little ones turned out like. I used the napkin for the bag, and then I cut one of the medium-sized tags, and I used the satin finish Mod Podge and did it over the tag and everything. And I think all I need to do now is just fold this over and put a closure on it. I'm thinking maybe a piece of ribbon with a little flower. And if I make the piece of ribbon so that it hangs down in front of the bag, then I think it'll be complete and look good. So I'll just punch a couple of little holes at the top with my hole punch, and put some ribbon through it and put a little flower on top of it, and I think those will be done. And like I said, I've got 4 different sizes of glassine bags. This was the smallest one, and I'm going to make them in all different sizes. I was real pleased with the way that these had come out. So this will be number 11. Then when I was making the cards, I thought, well, it works for cards. Why won't it work for a little notebook? So I made a little notebook, and I figured this is wishing you a very happy birthday, but why couldn't somebody planning a birthday use it as a notebook for things that they need to do or get or whatever for the birthday? And I have this very long stapler, about that long. So, you know, it's so that you can get to the center of a book and staple it. And I had intended on stapling these. Well, if anybody saw what I did with my stapler, please let me know. It is around here someplace. I know it is. I usually keep it on my desk, right next to the monitor, or right next to the printer. It's not there. And of course, I've done a lot of changing around in here. It could be in a box in the front bedroom that I haven't gone through yet and put back in here or whatever. But it irritates me. You know, it's one of those things like, I know I have it. I know I have those stickers. I know I have that little piece of hardware I'm looking for, but I can't find it. I have so much junk around here, it's not funny. And I always end up going out and buying something new. Well, I'm not going to go out and buy a new stapler. It is around here somewhere, and I will find it. So anyway, what I decided to do on this one was I used my smallest little hole punch, and I put a hole here, and I put a hole here, and I ran a piece of string through it, and I tied a little knot in the middle. So what you have is just a little notebook with pages, plain pages in it. And I thought, well, hey, that's a really good idea. And I'm going to make a bunch more of those. And I just added a little bit of bling here. I also stickled her birthday cake. Um, so I'm going to make a bunch more of those. So this is going to be number 12. And I'm not done with this one yet. It's just an idea I had last night. Just a little thanks tag that you can give to somebody. I fussy cutted the postage stamp and I put a little bit of netting behind it. But I think I'm going to put a feather or I put a couple of little pieces of bling down here, but this needs something more. So I'm not going to count that. It's not finished. Then I have 2 shoe boxes full of foam shapes. And I went through them the other night and I picked out ones that I could use for paper clips that no matter which side it was on, they would still match up. And surprisingly enough, there are very few of those. But anyway, I did some blue stars. I did some red stars. I did some white stars. I did a ladybug. I did a butterfly. I did a couple of stalks of corn. I did a sun. And I had this heart, which is very thick. And I've seen people take erasers that are about the same thickness and cut a slot in it and slip the paper clip into the slot. Well, that's what I did with this one. And of course it had adhesive on the back. So I took the adhesive off and I just cut a piece of pink paper and used for the backing on it. But that's one that I did where I slid it open and I just shoved the paper clip in it with a little bit of glue, of course. So those were some paper clips that I made. And that will be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This will be number 13. So I got quite a few things done. And like I said, I'm going to be making a lot more of these items. And I won't count them again as items that I made. But basically all I was doing the last couple of days was testing to see if it would make a nice item that I had thought of. I also have probably 6 more ideas on things that I can do with those little time to celebrate tags. So I'm hoping to use up a majority of them anyway. So thank you for joining me. This was again the 100 Things Challenge with Dances with Pit Bulls. And I'm up to number 13. So I'm in my teens now. So I'm moving right along. And thank you for joining me and have a nice day. Be crafty and I will see you again soon.